Welcome to Daybreak, ladies and gentlemen, where we have spawning in the bottom left of the map as the green Terran player. We have none other than Karate's LucifroN, who's currently, though, a game down. And he's a game down against this blue Protoss player in the top right-hand corner. Will he be able to come back from this 1-0 deficit, and maybe face his brother in round 2? We'll have to find out, because it does seem to be their destiny to face off in these major tournaments. But for now, this is Republic of Gamers, Elfi. So for those of you wondering, we have got Vortex versus Stefano currently going on the ESL TV stream. So do be sure to check that out if you fancy a dose of ZVZ. And in the meantime, my stream will be covering this TVP LucifroN going up against Elfi. A really exciting matchup, and Elfi taking a game off LucifroN, and he only needs one more to advance to winners round 2 to face the winner of that other match. Now everything's starting pretty normally so far. Nothing too much to worry about. LucifroN is not making a barrack, so it looks like he might be pinning his chances in game number 2 on a command center first. And considering that game 1 was such a macro-oriented game, this could be a good decision coming out of LucifroN. I mean, both sides in game number 1 really sat back until they had what they felt was a decent army composition before Elfi came up with a nice 3-base timing with Storm that prevented LucifroN from being able to get out there in time with those ghosts and EMPs. And that first engagement led to a little bit of a snowball effect, where as long as Elfi was continuing the aggression up, LucifroN was finding it difficult to move back. And that's what won Elfi game number 1. Now in game number 2, we have the command center going down before the barracks here, but using those buildings to form a wall off. Elfi, of course, knows exactly what's going on. Sadly, this probe is not going to leave here alive. Look at this, actually. The SCV's chasing the probe all over the place, presumably because they want it dead before he takes a second gas. Well, let's take a look. The probe is now gone. So maybe LucifroN is going to change his hand here and play something tricky now that the scout is dead. In the meantime, though, Elfi has gone for the Nexus as well. Cybernetics Core only just getting put up, of course, thanks to that early Nexus being put down. And let's see if LucifroN has a plan after this. We have got the second command center about to finish. It certainly become an orbital immediately before floating down to the natural after depositing its mule. Still only the one gas, second gas now being taken for him. Elfi has taken both of his gases at this point of the game. So just 10 or 15 seconds earlier than last game, nothing to worry about. And the SCV is going to be able to pop in here and see everything that is going on. We have a score update as well from the ESL stream. According to stream chat, apparently Vortex is currently 1-0 up on fan favorite Stefano. So actually, if Vortex wins that, then I almost want to say LucifroN is soul bound to winning this best of 3 series on the grounds that he has to be able to face and knock his brother out of the tournament. It would make no sense. Either they both win or they both lose, but if one of them wins, surely the other one has to win, right? But that is game number 2, and Stefano is one of the best players in the world. So let's see if Vortex can hold on to that lead and close it out 2-0. In the meantime, a second gateway popping out now at Elfi's side of the world, and we have got more structures soon to be warped in at the natural expansion. Starport and factory now going to be getting built, and possibly a little bit of a switcheroo. We actually have a reactor going down on that factory there, which is interesting because that might be indicative of Hellions popping out in just a second, and indeed it is. So something you see a lot more often against Zergs than you do against Protosses. LucifroN is going to try and do a little bit of early game harass with what looks to be both Hellions and Banshees. So not something you typically see, but something we have seen before. Let's see how well Elfi responds to that. He goes gate, Nexus gate, robotics facility. So he will have that robot out momentarily as well. First 2 Hellions for LucifroN moving out. We have got a 3rd and 4th Hellion in production, as well as Banshees with Cloak popping out from our Terran player as it currently stands. And a very quick Twilight Council to follow up that robotics facility has also popped up from Elfi. And the Hellions get spotted. There are some sentries here. Needs to be a little bit careful. If those sentries get roasted, that will not be good news at all. One of them does go down. And these Hellions are actually doing quite a number on these sentries. A second sentry goes down for Elfi. This is not good. Force fielding off the top of the ramp there. And it looks... Oh, wow. The two Hellions take out 3 sentries, and one of them survives to harass the mineral line. He will get exactly 0 worker kills. One, of course, early on when the probe came in. But none on those Hellions. But he killed off 3 sentries. Pretty useful stuff coming up from LucifroN this early in the game. And he is going to be going for a fast 3rd command center. In the meantime, 4 more Hellions and a Banshee going to be joining the fray. So LucifroN very, very eager to disrupt the mining early on. Will we get a force field off? Oh my goodness, that's a beautiful sandwich by the sentries and the Stalker. Such good force fields coming out there, but is it going to be enough? The Banshee is coming in, picks off 1 sentry, the second one gets picked off by the Hellions as well. There are now 3 Hellions and a Banshee loose in the main base location. How many workers will he kill? Good micro coming out there from Elfi, but LucifroN has a decent amount of DPS on the field as well. Cloak going to be an incredible asset, but here is the Observer, and the Banshee does get taken out. The final Hellion gets taken out. Total number of workers killed 14 in this game, so 13 killed by that harass, but we're not finished yet. Another 2 Hellions coming out while everything else is occupied in the main base, and these are definitely going to be worth their money. A decent number of probes now getting killed off as well. Can we get a few more on this side? So close. There we go. At least 2 more, and it looks like this Hellion will not get out alive, but the total number of workers is now 20 killed. Now, bear in mind that a Banshee with Cloak and the number of Hellions that LucifroN made is by no means a small investment, but with the sheer number of workers he managed to kill with that harassment, he is doing quite well for himself indeed. He is up to 51 workers plus triple mules soon, don't forget. And there we go. Going up against 39 workers of Elfi. So Elfi definitely was set back by this. We've got 4 gateways and a robo in the main base. He's going up to a straight Templar Archives. So we could be seeing a similar timing to what we saw last game, but the difference between this game and last is that Elfi will not have the resources necessary to really pump himself out to that sort of 160, 170 supply mark where he saw him push on Ohana, where he did so much damage to LucifroN. LucifroN's early game harassment has done sufficient amounts of damage to the economy of Elfi here that Elfi's push would be delayed if he tried the same thing. Notice we only see the 1 forge going up. We had double forge going down in that last game. He's scaling his activities back just a little bit here to consolidate. Wants to make sure he has a Storm Up relative as well, so he doesn't want to be spending precious money elsewhere. And we have the Ghost Academy coming down now from LucifroN. So LucifroN is playing a much more comfortable game than he did last time, thanks to the success of his early game harass, which we did not actually see from him on Ohana. And in the meantime, an Observer now going to be moving towards the 3rd base location and will spot that LucifroN has taken a 3rd base, and not only has he taken a 3rd base, that he's taken it for quite some time already. If there are a couple of bunkers, a supply depot up at this wall, in addition to basically a fully saturated 3rd with both gases taken, Elfi must be asking a couple of questions to himself. He's going to be thinking, how long has this been here? How much mineral income is LucifroN ahead of me at the moment, and does this mean I have to play completely passively? Is there an opening for any sort of attack here, or should I just try and rebuild my economy? And Elfi at the moment is choosing to stay back for now, try and grab and hold on to his 3rd base. And I think that's the wise decision because, frankly, his standing army currently doesn't hold a candle to LucifroN's. And as a result, LucifroN is going to be the one in this game doing the attacking. Elfi does not want to attempt to engage an army double his size, no matter how good his force fields is. That's just looking for disaster. The odds are definitely not stacked in his favor there. And it looks like, oh, the Medevac's getting ahead of the army just a little bit. One of them is going to immediately get picked off. Great engagement there from Elfi, but there's just so much stuff coming out of here from LucifroN, baiting the storms out of Elfi. A second one going down, and the Medevac's going to try and heal up this army as quickly as he can. Now, that was actually a very important pickoff of that Medevac because there is a lot of stim, and you're going to be able to use that stim damage to get repaired by the Medevac, picking off a sentry there. but the medevacs also have to contend with Storm and need to make sure that the Bio Army can withstand those storms. So as a result, these medevacs are going to be taxed to high heaven, and any fewer medevacs out on the field has to be good news for Elfi right now. Holding on to his third base for deal life. A scan from LucifroN to decide if he can take this. It looks like he can. The Observer was just inside range there, and he has some ghosts here, so that is the reason for the confidence here. And oh my god! That is the money. EMP Elfi has to sack the third base or engage now. He's actually going for the full engagement, and with 0 shields on his unit, it's not going to be enough. LucifroN takes game number 2, and we have a series tied up at 1-1.